What is a therapeutic classroom? Every room we design has children's wellbeing and mental health at the core of it. We recognise that the standard UK classrooms don't meet the emotional and mental health needs of our children in education, both at primary and secondary. This is also often true for classrooms in PRUs, SEMH schools and alternative provisions. Our approach is designed to be universal, and our aim is to reinvent the standard classroom, raise standards and set a new bar for what a classroom should offer. We know that the numbers of children struggling with their emotional well-being are on the rise. Some are struggling with trauma and ACEs, which has a huge impact on their mental health. But in a world where children are busier than ever, and where technology and social media are huge factors in childhood, we're seeing an increase in stress levels across the board. So we knew it was time to do something and create purposeful environments that took these factors into consideration. Unfortunately, the standard UK classroom doesn't meet the emotional needs of our children today and can often create barriers to learning through their design and some of our common cultural practices about what classrooms should look like. We've spoken to hundreds of children who tell us that their classrooms are not helping them learn. In fact, classrooms are increasing feelings of stress, anxiety and overwhelm, and many children don't want to be in them. Every one of our rooms meets the following points. They're trauma-informed, attachment-aware, inclusive, neurodivergent sensitive, calm, safe and welcoming, are comfortable and purposeful, feel like home, and support mental health and well-being of both pupils and staff. The idea is that children can come into the classroom and feel at home. This is where children spend most of their time every week, and so every child should feel safe and comfortable as a basic requirement before any learning can begin. So what do we mean by trauma-informed? The room, furniture and ethos acknowledges the impact of childhood trauma on children's brains, responses, feelings, behaviours, thoughts and beliefs. Our rooms are designed with this in mind, helping reduce triggers which might activate a child's fight-flight-freeze response. Our rooms help children feel emotionally safe, and they're calming to allow the brain to calm down and access thinking rational parts of the brain. This is the opposite of a conventional classroom that often triggers children's survival responses, therefore keeping them in a state of stress and overwhelm and causing them to be unable to access the rational thinking parts of the brain. Attachment aware. Our rooms are designed with insecure attachment in mind. Many children struggle with insecure attachment, and we're aware of the many elements of a classroom environment that can trigger these children to feel emotionally unsafe, overwhelmed and anxious. Our rooms are designed to reduce triggers that might activate children's insecure attachment responses, which then become a barrier to learning. Our rooms are carefully crafted to help children feel emotionally safe and therefore access their rational thinking parts of the brain. Inclusive. Our therapeutic classrooms are designed to be as inclusive as possible, and we're always reflecting on how we can make this even better. We recognise that standard UK classrooms have specific issues that cause them to exclude certain learners. Not being trauma-informed or attachment-aware are two examples that we've mentioned above. Lack of space is also a common issue. The standard tables and chairs cause rooms to be configured in a way that makes the rooms feel small. Long rectangular tables only allow for box shapes in the room, which take up space. Now, children with mobility issues or those in wheelchairs cannot access the space freely, often being made to sit on the outskirts of the class for most of the day. Our rooms create space and are designed with all of this in mind. They're designed to meet every child's needs with consideration to things like personal space, feelings and mood, preference for learning, autism, ADHD, sensory processing needs and more. Calm, safe and welcoming. Our rooms recognise that many children are not coming into school ready to learn. Often they've had high stress levels of hormones running around their body, and this could be due to a number of factors, some of which are compounded, like lack of sleep, prolonged time on social media and technology, or adverse experiences. Adverse experiences can be anything that might be difficult for a child and their family, and therefore cause prolonged stress and emotional distress. This could be things like living with parents who have separated, being one of many siblings, living with low income, having parents who are struggling with depression or alcoholism, being in care or suffering from abuse and neglect. The spectrum is vast, but anything that causes emotional distress can impact a child's well-being. If something is emotionally challenging, it will increase stress levels in the body, and this can impact a child's cognitive functioning and means that their brains are working from a place of survival. When a child's brain is working from a place of survival, they're unable to access their rational thinking skills, which we need for school. High levels of stress can impact children's mental health and well-being and stop them from being able to learn. Our classrooms are designed with this in mind, and we aim to create spaces where every child can feel calm, using the design of the space to reduce stress levels and help create a sense of safety and security. Our evidence-based approach acknowledges that children cannot learn unless they feel safe and calm. Are comfortable and purposeful. Standard classrooms are not comfortable, which can cause the children to feel unsettled, fidget, and lose concentration. This is compounded when a child's also struggling with high stress levels. We ensure every room is cosy. If a child feels comfortable, they're going to feel good. And when they feel good, they can access their rational thinking parts of their brains and learn. They'll also want to be in the space. Too often, children don't want to be in their classrooms, and we need to change that. Feels like home. What a space feels like has a direct impact on how you respond to the space and how you feel internally. Our rooms all feel comfortable, relaxing, and most importantly feel like home. Our wider work has evidenced year on year that many children are struggling with adversity in their lives. Some don't have warm, safe homes. Some don't know the many comforts we associate with home. Our classroom offers this feeling and experience to every child. They have to use these classrooms 6 hours a day, 30 hours a week, so classrooms should be a place where children come to love being in, somewhere that makes them feel safe, creative, happy and inspired, and our rooms have this ethos at their core. Supports mental health and well-being of both pupils and staff. Our designs have everyone's well-being and mental health in mind. We want everyone to feel happy coming into the space. We want them to enjoy using the space and feel they're most productive. We also want them to want to be there. Our rooms have a positive impact on both children and staff.